My name is Sophie, and I'm 22 years old. A few weeks ago, I moved to a new city to start a fresh chapter of my life. I just landed my first real job out of college, and while it felt exciting to finally have my own apartment, the loneliness of being in a strange city was starting to creep in. That night, I was especially tired after spending the whole day unpacking boxes. My apartment was small but cozy, with big windows that let in the glow of the city lights. I was too exhausted to cook, so I decided to order a pizza and have a relaxing evening watching TV. The delivery guy arrived faster than I expected. His name tag read Marcus. He was about my age, with a friendly smile that seemed genuine enough. We made small talk as I paid, and I even gave him a decent tip since it was a cold night, and he'd probably been running deliveries nonstop. "Thanks so much," he said, flashing a grin. "Enjoy your night." I nodded and closed the door, not thinking much of it. I settled in on the couch, pizza box in hand, ready to unwind. But as I scrolled through movie options, something caught my eye. In the corner of my living room, near the bookshelf, a tiny red light blinked. It was faint, almost unnoticeable, but it was there. I stared at it, confused. At first, I thought it was a reflection from my TV or one of my electronics. But the more I looked, the more I realized that it wasn't. I got up, curiosity mixed with unease, and walked over to inspect it. My heart skipped a beat when I found the source. A small round device mounted on the wall, partially hidden by a decorative vase I hadn't even touched since moving in. It was a camera. I froze. My hand started to tremble as I tried to make sense of it. Where had it come from? How long had it been there? Then it hit me. Marcus. He had been the only person in my apartment that evening. But how could he have installed it without me noticing? I replayed our brief interaction in my mind, searching for clues. That's when I remembered something odd. After I handed him the tip and turned to place the pizza on the counter, he had lingered for a moment longer than I'd realized. The thought made my skin crawl. I rushed to check my front door, ensuring it was locked. Then I grabbed my phone and opened the building's security app. My apartment came with a door camera that captured anyone entering or leaving. As I reviewed the footage, my worst fear was confirmed. After delivering my pizza and walking down the hall, Marcus had returned just a few minutes later. He stood outside my door, glancing around nervously before quietly slipping inside. He wasn't in for long, less than 30 seconds, but it was enough time to plant the camera. I felt sick. My breathing quickened as I realized he could have been watching me the entire time I sat on the couch, completely unaware. I immediately called the police, trying to keep my voice steady as I explained what had happened. They told me to stay in a secure part of the apartment and wait for an officer to arrive. I locked myself in the bathroom, my heart racing with every sound I thought I heard. When the police arrived, they searched the apartment and found more than I'd noticed. In addition to the camera in the living room, Marcus had hidden another one in my bedroom, behind the curtain rod. That discovery sent a wave of nausea through me. As the officers inspected the devices, one of them told me something that made my stomach drop even further. "You're not the only one," he said grimly. It turned out that Marcus had been using his job as a food delivery driver to gain access to women's apartments. He targeted those who lived alone, slipping inside under the pretense of friendliness, and planting cameras to watch their every move. Worse yet, the investigation revealed that he had been collecting footage for months. Police found hard drives and cloud accounts filled with hours of recordings from several victims. He had been selling the videos online to whoever was willing to pay. Hearing that made me feel exposed, like my privacy had been completely violated. I kept thinking about all the times I'd walked around my apartment, changed clothes, or just existed, oblivious to the fact that someone was watching. Marcus was arrested later that week, but the damage was done. I couldn't stay in that apartment. Every corner felt tainted, every shadow made me jump. I moved out within days, breaking my lease and crashing at a friend's place while I figured out what to do next. Even now, months later, I still feel paranoid. I check every room for hidden cameras, scan every stranger's face for something familiar. I don't trust delivery drivers, no matter how friendly they seem. And every time I order food, I think about how a simple act of kindness, giving a tip, making small talk, led to someone invading my life in the most horrifying way possible.